Hey, Michael Church, Crawl Space Ninja here with Brock from Aprilaire, and today we're going to cover error code number 8, probably the most common error code that you're going to see on the Aprilaire dehumidifier, which is the inlet air temperature is out of range. Brock, tell us why they're going to get this code. Is it a big deal? What do they do about it?
Yes, so I don't even like that we categorize this as an error code because this is actually just telling you that your dehumidifier is operating as it should be. Right. So once the temperature gets below 50 or above 104, the unit's not going to run. And that's because within those scenarios, the dew point has typically reached a level that's below 40, which it also will kick the code based on dew point as well. But really all that means is that your dehumidifier is not running because it doesn't need to be. Right. And you will have homeowners sometimes that will say, hey, I looked in my crawl space and I got the E8 code, but my relative humidity is 65. So what I like to tell people to do is there's a really cool dew point RH calculator that you can find online. And I'll tell them, okay, so put in what that relative humidity is and what the RH is. And so it can tell you what the dew point is. And then that'll tell you, because the temperature is so low, even though that relative humidity is high, there's not as much moisture in the air as you would think because cold air can't hold as much moisture. And then typically the things like mold, the dust mites, the bacteria, all of those things are going to be dormant and they're not going to be active. So even though you might see an RH that's high, it's a little bit misleading. So don't be afraid if you get the E8 error code. Once that temperature gets back up above 50, that dew point gets up into a range where the unit needs to work, it should turn back on and work as needed.
So it's going to self-correct once the temperature rises, or the dew point gets back to where it needs to start drying the air again. And real quick, I just want to mention, that's another reason why you can't always just base a dehumidifier dehumidifying on relative humidity. The dehumidifier should operate on dew point because that's a more accurate way to make sure that the air is dry. Yep,
so that's 100% correct. People just really don't understand dew point. Right. So they do understand keep it between 40 and 60 relative humidity. So that's why when they see that, but stand assured that because our units are running off dew point, that's going to be the most energy efficient way to be dehumidifying any space. And it knows that if that dew point's too low, then it doesn't need to operate, it won't. Things like a portable dehumidifier are likely running just off of the RH. So it might just keep on running. It might be 40 degrees in your crawl space and it's drying out. It might dry your crawl space to the point where you actually then start getting cracked wood and things like that and the opportunity for dry rot.
That's right, and if you want to learn more about dew point, we've done several videos about that, so just do a search, Crawl Space Ninja dew point on YouTube, and you should be able to find that. I'm Michael Church with Brock from Aprilaire, and we hope you make it a happy and blessed day, and we'll see you later.